Hi, I'm Helga from Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking, and today I'm going to bring to you one of the most iconic PA Dutch treats that there is, Whoopie Pies. Now, first of all, just so you know, back as far back as 2011, I actually was blogging back then. It wasn't Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking then, it was just Pennsylvania Cooking. And I'm going to include the link to that in the description below. The blog is still there, although since I became more active on YouTube, I just am not there as much. But there's a bunch of recipes and stuff because I put stuff on there for several years. If I get more energy, I'll get back to it. But one of the things I included was Whoopie Pies, and I featured it back in 2011 because at that point, Maine was choosing a state dessert, and they took Whoopie Pies. Now, I'm sorry, I love you all up there in Maine, but why didn't you pick something with like blueberries or cranberries, which you have tons of? Why Whoopie Pies? Whoopie Pies. Why Whoopie Pies? Whoopie Pies are PA Dutch. They are Pennsylvanian all the way. Maine can try and scarf them all they want, but they were here first. Absolutely. Now, admittedly, Maine was settled before Pennsylvania. They were settled in around 1607, somewhere in there, and we were settled here in Pennsylvania around 1681. But the PA Dutch community was here, planted here, and Whoopie Pies are as PA Dutch as pot pie and chicken and waffles with gravy, not fried. On the serious side, though, it is iconic dessert here. I've had them all my life. I can't remember not having Whoopie Pies. And here in our area, there's a million varieties of them. I'm making the standard chocolate and marshmallow type, but there is also, they make like a oatmeal cake type one, red velvet, shoe fly, pumpkin, chocolate chip. You know, you can really go any way you want to with, you know, a Whoopie Pie. But sometimes that chocolate one is still the best. Oh, and chocolate peanut butter ones. Although I gotta tell you, after making hundreds of chocolate peanut butter eggs here for the Easter holiday, I'm not eager for any of those anytime soon. So, oh, and people might wonder where Whoopie Pies, the name, came from. Supposedly, and this is just as good a story as any other I've ever heard, is that when you know, moms were, old-time moms in the old days, were making up cake batters and baking their cakes, they might have a little left over, and if they did, they baked them up and stuffed them with a little leftover icing, packed them in kids' lunches if they were lucky, and when the kids got to school and saw their lunch and saw they had a little leftover cake with the filling, they went, "Whoopee!" I don't know, but you know what? It's just as good as any other story. I'll go with it. So, today I'm going to show you how to make Whoopie Pies. If you go back and look at my blog, which I'll provide the link in the description below along with today's recipe, the cookie part is, or cookie cake part, is a little bit different than that, but the icing is the same. I've found that I actually like this variation a little bit better of the cake. But the homemade marshmallow filling icing is from the blog, and that is what mimics a good Amish Whoopie Pie. So let's get to it. So for this, we're going to have a couple egg yolks, a cup of Hershey's cocoa, and 4½ cups of flour, a cup of sour milk, which is basically the buttermilk. You can do the hack of the 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar to a cup of milk. Let it set a little bit. A cup of Crisco, and you want the plain Crisco. You don't want the butter or flavored kind. Couple cups of sugar, a cup of water, and ½ teaspoon of salt, 2 of baking soda, and 1 of baking powder. So let's get to it. Now I am going to cream my sugar and my Crisco first. Next I'm going to add my water my milk, and my egg yolks. Now I'm just going to add my dry ingredients. We'll mix these together first. And I'm going to whisk these, just mix it up well before we add it to our wet mixture. And I'm going to unhook my bowl and add this, because when you first do this you need to incorporate it with a spoon first. Then you can put it back on your mixer on low till you get a thick batter or dough, as the case may be. Okay, so I'm going to unhook my bowl, and I'm going to add my dry ingredients. And I'm going to give a mix here until we get it incorporated in. And this is coming together nice. Oh, look at that. I am going to put it back on the mixer, just on low. Make sure it's all mixed in real well. I still have a little bit of carpal tunnel going on, so I don't hand mix like I used to. Just like I don't hand knead bread if I don't have to anymore. That's one of the reasons I like the no knead bread that I do. So now you want these to be uniform, because you're going to be, you know, matching up the tops and bottoms. So I'm just using a ice cream scoop. If you have a cookie baller, that works well. I don't. I just have my cookie scoop, but they should come out about the same. And they're ready to go in the oven. Ooh, first ones are out of the oven, and they were in for about 12 minutes. So I'm going to move these to a cooling rack, and while these cool, we're going to mix up the marshmallow filling. So for the marshmallow filling, easy for me to say, that's going to be 2 cups of light corn syrup, 3 egg whites, a little bit of salt, a tablespoon of vanilla, and 2 cups of 10x confectioner's sugar. Now, other recipes don't use the corn syrup, and they use shortening and a lot more 10x sugar. But this is the Amish marshmallow recipe, and it's what I grew up with in Amish kitchens around here, and it's what I like. Other people might like the other filling better, but to me it is stiffer and more greasy tasting, I think, from the shortening. So this is what I like to go with. First I'll add my very sticky light corn syrup. They use light corn syrup for tons of stuff. You know, this goes in the peanut brittle, this goes in a lot of candies. Goes in everything. Then I'm going to add the 3 egg whites and the salt. And we're going to beat this until it gets nice and fluffy and doubles in size. Okay, look at that. That's looking marshmallowy already. So I did that on high speed for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to add the confectioner's sugar, and I'm going to mix that in on slow until we get that good and incorporated. Oh, look at that come together. I'm going to let that continue to mix on slow till it's all incorporated. Then we will add our vanilla right at the end, just until it's mixed. And we're done. She's ready to go. So now it's time to stuff some whoopie pies. So my first cookies are all done and they're cool. And you can see the back, they're just set, but they're still soft. So let's stuff them. Oh man, look at that stuff. It is sticky. Oh baby, oh baby. And there you go. Here's a whoopie pie. Do another one. Look at the beauty. And I'm just going to finish stuffing them up. And you know what comes next? The taste test. Gotta make sure they're edible, you know. And there's the plate of them all wrapped up, ready to go in the freezer. Because I don't need 14 whoopie pies for myself. Some will go to family, they'll get doled out, and they're always good to have as a treat when I don't have anything else made. So there you go, homemade whoopie pies with the marshmallow filling. Like I said, if you want to do the other filling, you absolutely can. It's stiffer, so it travels better. But if you do these and wrap them up right away and put them away in the freezer, they stay great for a long time. So here's my whoopie pies. Time to give it a Oh my Lord. Now I need a big glass of milk. So that's how you make homemade whoopie pies. Like I said, you can use other recipes for the cookie part. I like this one because it's not so sweet. And you can also use the confectioner and shortening. It does make for a thicker filling. But I do like the marshmallow filling. These also freeze well, so you can wrap them and freeze them for later. And like I said, this batch made 14 perfectly sized whoopie pies. So, give them a try. PA Dutch icon, whoopie pies. Like, subscribe, and join me next time here in Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking.